Hey guys, what's up? Justin here, and today I'm going to shoot a quick video to show you 3 music promotion services that you might find helpful right around the time of your next album release. Now, you don't have to reserve these services just for releasing an album. You can use them anytime you want, and they could be really useful in promoting a tour as well as an album release. So it's really up to you, but they can be particularly useful when you're promoting a specific event like an album release. And I think you'll see why when I start going over what these services are. But whether you're releasing an album, going on tour, or just trying to promote your music in general, there are clear benefits to all the services I'm going to show you. And 2 of them you could actually use for free. So let's go ahead and get started. There are 3 music promotion services I'm going to cover in this video. The first is a PR service that will help connect you with journalists, and I'm talking about legit journalists, like writers for Spin, Pitchfork, Rolling Stone, and other major publications. The second service is one that will get you connected to music bloggers that will listen to your tracks and write reviews. Many of these bloggers have massive followings of people that could end up becoming die-hard fans of your music. And many of these blogs are also followed by record labels and playlist curators, so exposure to your music could really snowball if a lot of people like it. And the third service I'm going to talk about is a playlisting service that will get you connected with playlist curators that have a lot of followers that listen to your genre of music. So the 3 services I'm going to cover will help you get your music added to popular playlists on streaming services like Spotify and Deezer, reviewed by popular music industry bloggers, and even journalists that write for major publications like Pitchfork, NPR, The Wall Street Journal, Rolling Stone, and Spin, just to name a few. And all of this exposure will, of course, help you get more fans and sell more music. The services I'm going to cover are especially useful right around the time that you're releasing new music, as they'll help generate buzz around your new release and spike overall engagement, which could ultimately help you land on sales charts and major Spotify playlists. Now, before we get started, I want to advise you that results are not guaranteed and may vary with all of these services. I'm not here to endorse them. I simply want to make you aware of them so you can check them out and determine if they're right for you. Now, all these services are actually connecting your music with other people that could help you get more exposure. And there are a lot of factors involved here. The people receiving your music will form their own opinions about it, and it's up to them if they want to review it or feature it on a playlist. And if they do feature it on a playlist, it's still up to the listeners of that playlist to decide if they want to listen to it. So there's a lot of potential to get more exposure with these services, and a lot of musicians have had a lot of success with them, but there are a lot of factors involved, and it's impossible to guarantee any type of success with them, so just keep that in mind. Now, fortunately, they're either free or relatively inexpensive to use, so you don't really have to worry about going broke if you try them out. Alright, now let's get started. The first service that can help you get a lot of exposure for your next release is StoryAmp. StoryAmp is a PR service built for musicians. Having a music publicist on a per project basis or on a retainer can get a little pricey. Oftentimes it can cost several $1,000s. But StoryAmp will help you get your music in front of journalists at some of the most influential magazines, blogs, and newspapers in the world, and they even have a free tier so you can use their service without paying a dime. So how does StoryAmp work? Well, first of all, they have an enormous database of press contacts. These are high-quality contacts that have been compiled by a team of publicists that have extensive experience in the world of music PR. When you sign up for an account, you'll create an interactive press kit containing information like tour dates, album release dates, artist name, bio, pictures, etc. Then StoryAmp will send your press kit to relevant journalists for free. If the press kit's for an upcoming tour, it'll be sent to journalists in the cities on the tour. If it's for an album release, the kit will be sent to journalists that write about your genre of music. And again, that's all done for free. Now, StoryAmp does have a premium service you might be willing to pay for. With their free service, you can send a basic tour or recording announcement with band name, city, and date to relevant press contacts in each concert city or genre. Those journalists will be notified of your activity by email 3 separate times, 6, 4, and 2 weeks in advance of the show or release date. From that email, members of the press can click to view more details, and they'll be linked to your full press kit with photos, music, etc. So at StoryAmp, they call your press kit a dispatch. And inside StoryAmp's real-time press activity log, you can see who's viewed your dispatch and how they interacted with it, what tracks they listened to, feedback, coverage, etc. Now for $30 a month, you can upgrade to their fancy listing plan, and that's what they call it. They actually call it the fancy listing. And that fancy listing will give you premium placement in a StoryAmp dispatch with your short pitch and band photo included in the email. The fancy listing has much higher visibility than the free listings, which makes it much more likely that it'll be seen and picked up by relevant journalists. Additionally, you'll be able to create unlimited dispatches as long as you're a premium user. This can be especially useful when you're on tour, as you can make announcements and update the press as much as you like throughout your tour. This all makes StoryAmp a very affordable and effective PR solution for independent artists on a budget. So now let's take a look at another service that can help you get your music in front of people that write about music. This next service is called SubmitHub, and it allows you to easily submit your music to bloggers that review and write about your genre of music. With SubmitHub, you can submit your music to hundreds of popular blogs for free. With their free service, you're given 2 credits every 4 hours. So basically, you can submit your music to 2 blogs every 4 hours. With the free service, bloggers aren't required to respond to you. They simply accept your music and write a review, or they decline and don't have to give an explanation for why they declined. So there's no guarantee of any response or feedback when you use the free credits. But it does make the process of submitting your music to bloggers pretty simple, and it doesn't cost anything. So if you choose to go the free route, go to the stats page and choose blogs that have a high response rate and or a high approval rate. Now SubmitHub does offer a premium service, which is actually not very expensive and probably more worth your time. You could purchase premium credits for between 80 cents and $1.20 depending on how many you purchase. When you use premium credits, you're guaranteed to get a response within 48 hours. Bloggers that you submit to are required to listen to at least 20 seconds of your submission, and they must give at least 10 words of feedback if they decline to review your music. So even if you don't get a review, you'll at least get some feedback from music bloggers. Getting your music reviewed by a popular music blog can help you get a lot of new fans, but you need thick skin to use this service, as the feedback that you get might not always be exactly what you want to hear. Nonetheless, SubmitHub is a very affordable way to get your music reviewed by popular music blogs in your genre. Now the third and final service isn't free. They don't have a free tier, and many of you might not find it within your budget. However, that's all very relative. This next service could end up costing a few $100 if your music is approved, which may sound like a lot of money, but it's practically nothing when you compare it to the marketing budget of a release from a major label, so it's worth considering if you're an independent artist with a little bit of money to spend. This service is called Playlist Push. It's a playlisting service that connects musicians with popular playlist curators. This is how it all works. You fill out a form and submit your music for a review. Now the good news is you don't have to pay to submit your music for approval, so if your application is declined, you aren't out any money. If your track is accepted, you can go on to create your campaign. You'll simply select the genres of playlists you'd like to submit to, choose how many you want to submit to. The more you choose, the more expensive it'll be, keep in mind. And then you pay to have your music submitted to those playlists. Depending on your genre and how many playlists you submit to, this could range from a couple $100s to sometimes over $1,000. Now the thing you have to keep in mind here is that your music is being submitted to real people for review, and they aren't obligated to put your music on their playlists. They're only required to listen to it and decide if they want to include it on their playlist. Curators have full creative and artistic control over their playlists, so there's no guarantee that your music will make the cut. And this isn't a way to game the system. More often than not, even if your music is added to some popular playlists, the revenue from streams will rarely cover the cost of promotion. So you shouldn't expect that this is going to be a way to earn extra income right away from streams. But there is a huge benefit to getting your music in front of a big audience of people that may have otherwise never found you. This is a great way to get exposure to new audiences and ultimately gain new fans. It can be especially helpful in generating some extra buzz and engagement around a new album release. So there are a lot of benefits to submitting your music to playlist curators via Playlist Push. Just keep in mind that there's no way to guarantee results when you're using this service. If you do your due diligence, you'll find mixed reviews from artists that have used this service in the past. Some are flat out disappointed with their results, while others have not only seen a big uptick in streams from the playlist they were added to from a Playlist Push campaign, some artists have also been added to Spotify's own curated playlists like Release Radar, Discover Weekly, and Fresh Finds after Spotify's algorithm picked up the increased engagement generated by their Playlist Push campaign. So again, there are no guarantees with any of these 3 services I went over in this video, because the service they're all offering is simply to connect you and your music with journalists, bloggers, and playlist curators that could help you get more exposure. But ultimately, it's up to them whether or not they choose to do so. Nonetheless, these music promotion services could help you get more exposure, more fans, more streams, and more sales of your music. So as an independent artist, you should at least know that they're available to you, and then it's up to you whether or not you decide to utilize them. So I hope you found this all helpful. One last time, just to quickly recap, the 3 music promotion services that I went over in this video are StoryAmp, which helps connect musicians with relevant journalists for free, and you can take advantage of their premium service for just $30 a month. SubmitHub, which will connect you with music bloggers. Again, this service is free, but you can improve your chances of results with their premium credits, which range from 80 cents to $1.20 per submission. And finally, Playlist Push, which is a little pricier than the other services mentioned, but it will get your music submitted directly to playlist curators, which can have a more immediate impact and boost your streams on Spotify and Deezer very quickly if your campaign's effective. So I hope you found this video helpful. Hopefully at least one of these services is new to you and possibly something you're interested in trying out. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and comment below. And if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button below and tick the little bell icon to be notified as new videos are released. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.